Okay guys, today we will going to learn about web browsers. When you log into a Windows operating system, especially if you're using Windows 7 or Windows XP or any of the earlier editions of Windows, then you get Internet Explorer already installed as your web browser on your computer. Now what exactly is a web browser? A web browser is a software that allows you to browse web. That's all it is. And by browsing the web, we mean that we should be able to go online and be able to access the resources. Now, what do we mean by going online? Going online pretty much means that your computer is connected to the internet and then you're going to visit the websites. And then you will going to learn about them, get information, interact with them, submit information, retrieve information, all sorts of stuff. Internet Explorer looks like this E icon that you see right here next to the Start button. In Microsoft Windows 10, they have dropped Internet Explorer as the browser choice and has rather introduced a new web browser called Microsoft Edge, which also has an E-like symbol. But that is the only web browser that comes already pre-installed with the operating system. So if you're using older editions of Windows, then you are using Windows Internet Explorer. If you're using newer editions of Windows, then you're using Windows Edge browser, Microsoft Edge browser. So you can also download other web browsers from the internet. For example, right now I have 3 web browsers installed on my computer. Besides this E, which is for Internet Explorer, I also have Firefox installed, and I also have Chrome installed. This is a Google Chrome web browser, and this is Mozilla's Firefox. People also have other web browsers like Opera or Safari. If you're a Mac user, then Safari is your browser choice by default. You can always install Firefox and Chrome on top of Safari and Mac, but you do not have any Microsoft browsers available to you for Mac. All the browsers have certain features that are common across the board. For example, if I open Internet Explorer, you will notice that there are these 3 buttons over here. There's a minimize, maximize, and an X button. If you're a Mac user, then you will have these 3 buttons located on the left-hand side. They will be colored differently, the symbols will be differently, the closes are red, the maximize is in orange, the minimize is green, all of those things are there, but where they're placed may be a little bit different. But if you get accustomed to using Mac, you know exactly how they behave. Now there are certain features of all the browsers that are same across the board. For example, here in this web browser, we have this area which we call an address bar. This is where you type the web address of the website that you would like to visit. So if I would like to visit Google or YouTube, this is where I'm going to come and I'll type www.youtube.com. And I'm going to press enter. And this will going to redirect me to the Google's website. Now, it's also quite possible that I will going to access the web URL without having to type www. So some websites are configured this way that they buy both names or they lease both names, www.youtube.com as well as youtube.com. So even if I type just youtube.com and press enter, it still takes me to www.youtube.com. Now, this area, which is called the address bar, then there are certain other things that you will notice right here. For example, this lock-like symbol, which basically can be clicked to learn a little bit about the security of this page. Because this page is an HTTPS page, where S stands for secure, that's why you see this lock. This is the back button, and this is the forward button. These features you will see across the board in all the browsers. I'm going to show you a couple of the browsers, and you will notice that they're all very similar. Then you have this tab, you click on it, and that will open a new tab. This feature allows you to have more than one pages open without having to open a new window. So if I now go to bing.com and Now I have YouTube here and I have Bing over here. They're right next to each other. Now, let me close this. It asks me, the moment I hit X, it asks me, would you like me to close all tabs or only the current tab? Close all tabs. Now let's open a different web browser. Let's say Firefox. So Firefox, since it is installing some of the updates, and we're going to start in a few minutes or few moments, so we're going to just complete its cycle, and here it comes. The Firefox comes up. Now, if you notice something very similar, you have multiple tabs, but the way the tabs appear are different. But the idea is still there. You still have this plus that you can click to add more tabs. So if I would like to go to youtube.com or google.com or bestbuy.com, again, I just simply type bestbuy.com and it just connects me to that page. If I would like to open another browser, another page in the same browser window, I can just go to google.com and it just opens google.com. So I can have as many pages as I would like. Now at times your browser may run into these kind of problems like can't connect to a site. It is quite possible the site is down, or it's quite possible that your internet connection is down. Always look over here in this corner. The symbol that you see for me right over here is an identification that I'm connected to a Wi-Fi network. If you're connected to a wired network, the symbol may be slightly different. But if that symbol has some kind of an exclamation mark on a yellow triangle or some kind of a weird symbol, it means that you are disconnected and you are surfing offline. So let me close this, and let me now also, as I started to close this window, it says, would you like me to close all tabs? Yeah, please close all tabs. Now let's try to open Chrome. When I open Chrome, same deal. There are multiple tabs. I click to open the next tab, and now I can type the URL. For example, now I want to go to CNN.com. So here it is, CNN.com. Or I would like to go to weather.com. So here I have weather.com. You would also have noticed that when I open the Internet Explorer, or when I open the Google Chrome, as soon as I open, this page automatically showed up. The page, or the website, that automatically loads when you open up your web browser, it's called your home page. You would have enjoyed this tutorial where we learned a little bit about how the web browsers work and what are the different web browsers. As you've noticed, their functionalities are exactly the same. It's just a matter of preference. Certain features, certain sites are built to be more catered towards a browser, a web browser, and they will tell you up front. For example, the application that we use at our workplace called Blackboard, it is compatible with Chrome, but it's not that compatible with Internet Explorer. So that is why we tell our students that when you're using this particular website, your browser of choice is Chrome or Firefox, but do not use Internet Explorer. For example, Internet Explorer, there are certain features of Blackboard that I can do. So that is why in certain sites, you have to make sure that you have a browser of choice. Otherwise, for majority of the sites, it doesn't really matter. Well, catch you in the next tutorial.